What's up, everyone? Welcome back or welcome. This is your first visit. My name is Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm at Gunther Volkswagen Daytona Beach, and the vehicle we're going to be talking about is 2026 Volkswagen Taos. We have the middle of the line version, the SE front-wheel drive, and today I'll take in a complete tour of it. We're going to check it out from the exterior, interior technology, and the test drive. If you like watching videos like this, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's get back to this. Taos is the entry level in the Volkswagen SUV lineup, and that's a super busy and very important to the manufacturer's market segment. Now, we're talking competitors such as Toyota Corolla Cross, Honda HR-V, Subaru Crosstrek, Nissan Kicks, Kia, Seltos, Kia Niro, and the list goes on and on and on. And why is it important? Because they try to attract that first-time car buyer that's going to be new to the brand. And if they like it, they're going to move on to the vehicles that are bigger and more expensive. In this case, maybe to a Volkswagen Tiguan or the Volkswagen Atlas. So let's take a look at the exterior of this vehicle and see if they've done a good enough job. If you like the color of it, they call it the Monument Gray. It's a pretty cool looking color. We're going to take a quick peek right here at the sticker. 2026 Taos SE Monument Gray exterior. We have the black cloud text, leatherette, and cloth trim. 8-speed automatic transmission, front-wheel drive, starting MSRP 29,260, 31 miles per gallon combined, 28 in the city, 36 on the expressway. In terms of the hood, it's fairly flat. It's got a few creases right there in the middle. And as far as the lights, let's take a look at it. We have a nice LED light, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. Scrolling down here, we have some shiny black materials, but you can see there is a pass-through for the air right there in the corner. Also, this front end is finished in 3 different colors. We have the shiny black polished aluminum trim and this matte black color right there in the middle. A large Volkswagen logo in the middle of that grille. And let's pop this hood open, see what's going on underneath. Here underneath the hood, we'll find a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 174 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's available as a front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. We already talked about the gas mileage, 0 to 60 in about 8.5 seconds. We have the prop stick right down here, and we also have no sound insulation, but we're definitely going to check out the drive characteristics and dynamics at the end of this video. And check this out, this little lizard right here in the front. To close this open, let's talk about the dimensions of this Taos. As far as the width of this vehicle, without the mirrors, 72.5, with the mirrors, 82.6 inches, height 64.5. We have a 175.9 inches total length of this, so it's on the larger side of the segment, with a wheelbase of 1.5.5 to 1.5.9, and that's on the front-wheel drive. The wheels are 18-inch shiny black wheels. Those are standard wheels on it. Size of the tires on this particular one, 215 by 50 on 18-inch rim. We have some black cladding around the wheels as well as the bottom portion of the vehicle. The mirror caps are the same color as the rest of the vehicle. And check it out what we have here. Blind spot assist. That's pretty much it. All right, if you have the key somewhere on, you can lock or unlock this vehicle by simply pressing the button on either of the front doors. No sunroof. We have the low profile roof rails that are polished aluminum color and the shark fin antenna right there in the back. Let's check it out, see what's going on here. I really like this setup. It reminds me of their larger SUVs like the Atlas or even the Tiguan. We have the all LED lights going across the entire width of this vehicle, and we have this illuminated Volkswagen logo. Scrolling down here, these are not the exhaust. This is just the trim pieces. The exhausts are hidden underneath the bumper. We have the Taos in the middle, SE on the side, exposed wiper, and the third brake light. Well, let's pop this gate open. Let's see how much room we have. Now, this one doesn't have a power lift gate, but it's not very hard to open this up. Let it go, it opens up. Behind the seats, 27.9 cubic feet on the front-wheel drive, 24.9 on the all-wheel drive, and that's due to it's having a little bit different suspension in the back for the 4Motion. Total is 65.9. If you fold down the seats, on the front wheel drive and just a little bit less, 60.2 on the all-wheel drive. Now you can see that this drops quite a bit, so that's probably what's taken on the 4Motion. And we have the temporary use spare tire, but it is there, so I'm actually glad that they did it. And we don't have like the 40-20-40 that we used to have on the older Volkswagens. We have the 40-60 split, and we have this pass-through for skis or some longer things that you can carry inside of the vehicle. Other than that, we have some illumination in here, and that completes that cargo area. Let's see how I can fit inside it. So this is a subcompact SUV. I'm 6 feet tall, and this front seat is adjusted to my regular and comfortable driving position. And I have to say, it has ample room right here in the back. In front of my knees, probably about 2.5, maybe 3 inches. Above my head, a good 4 inches, and plenty of shoulder room right here. So no complaints as far as the case, especially that we're looking at the smallest SUV in the lineup. Let's continue this interior tour, starting with this rear door panel. I'm sad to inform you that this is all hard plastic material, with the exception of this portion right here. That's for your armrest. We have the window control, more storage at the bottom. Now let's slide inside. Let's take a look at the seats. So we have the Cloud Tech and fabric. This is the combination. This looks like the suede right on the inside here, and on the exterior it looks like leather seats. In the middle, of course, you can open this up. You have 2 cup holders, and as I demonstrated before, that can be folded down as well. Now the one drawback to this interior here is this huge tunnel over here, so it creates this huge bump, so that middle seat can be used for kids, well, maybe smaller adults. So you have your own vents in the back, which is really important, and 2 USB Type-C ports, seat back pockets in both rear seats, and up on top, you have your own illumination. Let's take a look, see what's going on in the front. Before we get inside, let's slam the door, see how that sounds. Not bad. Volkswagen, that's spelled out over here. Let's see what's going on in the front door. Now, that situation is a little bit different because we have nice and soft touch material, both on top, right in the inlays here, and on the armrest. Now we have the window mirror lock controls, a little bit more storage at the bottom, and here the seat has power adjustments, including the 2-way lumbar support, the same material as it's used in the back. So of course this looks like suede, which I don't think it is, but we have the lighter gray on the outside that you've seen in the back seat. So kind of strange that they didn't incorporate the same kind of materials or colors in both front and back, but I guess that's how Volkswagen does it. So that's the seat. We have the light controls over here. Let me jump inside. I'll show you what else is going on here. Well, let's talk about the interior of this vehicle, starting with the sound of the closing door. That is really nice and solid. No complaints here. Here's how it looks. Here's the interior of this 2026 Volkswagen Taos SE. Starting on the right-hand side, we have the large vents. This matches the color what we see on the doors. And then we have some polished aluminum shiny black trim. This is all hard plastic though. We have this large bezel for the screen. We'll talk about it in just a moment. And here's your steering wheel. Volkswagen logo, of course, in the middle. As far as the buttons, we have the cruise control on the left-hand side, volume buttons. This controls what's going on in the instrument cluster. We also have the heated steering wheel here. Now, as far as the material, this is the leather-wrapped steering wheel with the contrast stitching, slightly thicker in the right places. And here is how the instrument cluster looks like. Now, I apologize, there's a lot of sun, some reflection here. We're going to do the best we can to present it to you. So here's what's going on right there in the middle. You see this big speedometer also in the digital form over here. And then you can change the different views. And let's see what happens when I hit this button. You can have this, or back to the regular one. And then we can see what's going on in the middle here. You can see the temperature, average speed, gear display, oil temperature, navigation, audio, telephone, start, stop button, destination, compass, and we can close this thing. All right, as you notice maybe, this is the only like the fully LCD screen. You have 90 degrees outside, 957. That's the temperature, 20 miles to empty. And then we have the fuel gauge, temperature gauge on the other side, and that's pretty much it. So it's not like a fully functional display as you see on some of the competitors, but again, this is not bad at all. And here's what we have as far as the main screen. Now this is a smaller, about 9-inch screen, which is a little below the industry standards, but what do we have? and turn this on. And of course, we're going to get the volume down. And we have the radio, media, phone, voice on this side, volume control, app, sound, car, and menu. So if you hit this menu button, it's going to take you to this basic screen, main screen. And that's where you can choose your options: radio, telephone, vehicle, sound, media, app, connect, assist, climate control, etc. Go to the next one, settings, set up my VW. Go to settings, see what's here, screen time, date, units, voice operation. So lots of customization form that you have. In terms of the source, you have the FM. You also have the AM, Sirius XM, my media, internet, Bluetooth audio, etc. And you can also connect your phone to this vehicle over here. Only connect the phone when stationary, and you can search for it. In terms of the apps, you have the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and you need to use the compatible USB cable to connect your smartphone to the infotainment system. And they're both wired or wireless, whichever you prefer. So phone, voice, menu, car. That's pretty much it. Put it in reverse. Let's see the rear view camera. And that could be a little bit better in my opinion. It's not bad. I mean, it has the active trajectory lines to see where you're going, but it's a little grainy, especially for today's standards. And turn this off. Now let's put this vehicle in park. Let's see what else is going on. We have two vents, hazard lights, and here heated seats, max for the front window defog or rear window defroster. And a lot of people criticized these temperature controls. I mean, they're really not bad. As you can see, I slide my finger. They used to be a lot worse when they first came out. I can either tap it or slide your finger. Same thing with the fan. Then you have the menu button over here that opens it up in the screen, and then you can adjust it through here if that's what you wanted. As you can see, we have the dual zone climate control for the driver and passengers, and underneath two USB Type-C ports, 12-volt power charger, there's start engine stop button. Here, parking brake, you have you can turn off that start stop feature. Parking sensors can be turned on or off. I actually like that they left this shifter very similar to the old style shifters. And then we have, of course, the regular options here. Plus, we have that drive or sport mode. And then once you do that, you can you're going to be able to shift the gears manually through here. I don't know if you can see that because it's really bright and reflective, but it has this pretty cool trim around this. It's not this shiny black. It's got some pattern in it. It's got some texture. Here is your key to the vehicle, the old style key. We have the lock, unlock. Of course, we have twice to start the vehicle. Remote start is standard. And we have to hold to release the rear gate. It's not a power lift gate, so this is just going to release it. And on the other side, we have the Volkswagen logo and panic button on the side. All right, two cup holders and a tiny little bit more storage right there in the middle. Moving up, we have the regular HomeLink system in the mirror, compass as well, and you have the HomeLink system in the mirror, compass as well. That's a frameless mirror, pretty cool looking one. In terms of the lights, does that look incandescent? Probably, right? That's a yellow lights here. And then what do we have? Sunglass holders, and you have the ability to call for help if you wanted to. Sun visor here with the mirror and illumination. And that is it, guys. This is the interior of this 2026 Volkswagen Taos SE front-wheel drive. Let's talk pricing. Take it on the road. As far as the different trim levels, there are 4 different trim levels available for 2026 Tiguan. There's S starting at $26,500. The SE, which I have for you today, $29,250 or $260, and then SE Black, $31,510, and the SEL at $35,900. All of them are going to share the same engine, and they're available as a front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, about $1,700 more to get the all-wheel drive. But with the all-wheel drive, you also get the fully independent rear suspensions, which you don't have with the front-wheel drive. So let's take it on the road. We're going to start with merging in traffic here. Then we're going to check out the acceleration and maybe some braking. We're definitely going to try to do a 360 turn to see how tight this vehicle is. And we're going to take it back to the dealership kind of sum it all up. Now, this is a brand new vehicle, so I'm not going to beat on that, but I want to kind of get the feel of how this vehicle accelerates. And I can already see that it is a pretty quick acceleration, even though on paper it's about 8.5 seconds, which might be a little bit below the industry standard. But if you want something quicker, you might want to opt in for like the Mazda CX-30 Turbo, which is a really quick vehicle. Also, like the Kia vehicles, like the Niro, because it's a hybrid, it's going to get a little bit better acceleration as well and than this. But this is a solid choice, in my opinion. I mean, I like the way that it handles. I like the way that it drives. The visibility is great. The room is surprisingly plentiful in this Volkswagen Taos. I mean, yeah, I mean, you have a competition within the brand a little bit more, and you can get the Tiguan, which is huge in comparison to this. But for those of you who don't need a bigger vehicle and care about the gas mileage, this could be a great choice. Now, I kind of wish that they had different engine options, especially with a hybrid. I tend to side with other reviewers that this would be a needed option, but maybe that's coming. We'll see in the future. And here, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop right here. There's nobody behind me, nobody in front of me. I'm fully stopped. Let's hit it. We had some torque steer here in the front going to the front wheels. Not bad though. We got it up to about 55 miles per hour. It does make noise, of course, it's an engine, right? But it translates into the cabin. But once you start rolling at the certain speed, cruising, that disappears. I do hear some of the road noise, though, probably a little bit more than on some of the competitors as well. And let's talk about the competition. The list is long, but we're going to mention a few that, of course, are the staples in this segment. So that's the Toyota Corolla Cross. We also have the new Nissan Kicks, which is super popular. We have the Honda HR-V, and then, of course, Mazda CX-30. Now, we can't forget about some of the domestic competitors because they came up with some actually pretty good products. I've done a review of a Chevy Trax that I drive for work, and, you know, this vehicle's got 37,000 miles on it right now. It hasn't given me a single problem, and it's not a bad vehicle for the base MSRP that starts at around $23,000, which, you know, if that's something you look at, affordability as your main buying motivation, I might be a vehicle to choose. But let's get back to this. Taos here, definitely not a bad vehicle. I actually like the way that it feels. I'm 6 foot tall. I have plenty of room here. The seats are nice and comfortable. I can see everything in front of me. The mirrors are decent size. Once this is adjusted in terms of this rear view mirror, that has no blind spot whatsoever. I also like the visibility out back. We're going to pull in this parking lot here, do a 360, see how this vehicle turns around, and then we're going to take it back to the dealership to sum it all up. Well, let's see here. We have the opportunity to make a full circle. Hopefully, we're going to be able to fit on this parking lot. Steering wheel all the way to the left. And let's see. Very nice. Yes. Not quite making it, or am I? Yes. I'm able to actually make a full U-turn, full circle around this fairly tight parking lot. So no surprise here. It's a compact or subcompact in this category. In this country, it's considered a subcompact. If you're watching this video and you're in Europe maybe, or you are somewhere else in the world, this would be considered compact SUV, definitely not subcompact because they grow so much. But here in the United States, everything has to be bigger, and in comparison to like the Tahoes and the Expeditions and the likes, these are really tiny, so they call them subcompacts. Then the compact ones would be something like the Tiguan and the midsize. We're going for the Atlas, and then you have the large SUVs, which Volkswagen doesn't make here, but those would be considered like the Tahoes and the Expeditions. Well, that's the categories here in the United States, guys. We're going to take this back to the dealership. On the way, let's kind of sum it all up. Personally, I like the design of this vehicle. I like the styling. The new Volkswagen styling is like great. I think they've done a great job redesigning the Tiguan and the Taos, and the same lines continued throughout the lineup. It's just different sizes, different features, different engines. I don't like that. I think they've done a great job on it. Comfort off the ride. I think it's good. I mean, I don't think it's super great. I mean, if you want something softer, something more comfortable, you might want to opt in for something like the Toyota Corolla Cross, maybe even Kia, slightly softer. The acceleration, I mean, it's right there with most of them, like the Honda HR-V, Nissan Kick's going to be very similar to that. But then again, you're not buying a subcompact SUV or crossover to race, hopefully, at least. And that's definitely within the range of the segment. And the pricing seems like it is slightly on the higher side because we're starting at about 26.5 going to about $36,000. So that's on the higher range of the segment. However, if you're looking at the Subaru Crosstrek, they're going to be the same, maybe even higher. Toyota Corolla Cross, the base ones are going to end at about $35,000, but with Toyota, you can heavily option that vehicle and can easily be $38,000, $39,000. The Honda is going to be on the lower end of the spectrum because I think the top of the line, which includes pretty much all the features with Honda, is going to be at about $32,000, so slightly less expensive than that. And definitely the least expensive, the most affordable, are going to be like the Chevy Trax or the Chevy Trailblazers. Now, can you really put them in the same category? I think so. I don't see why not. But these are really a lot more equipped. There's a lot more features on some of those higher end trims. Now, this is the middle of the road trim, of course, but it depends on what you like. And if you like to have the Volkswagen logo in front, definitely don't miss this vehicle. Go to the dealership, check it out, test drive it, see how that fits. And if you buy it, let us know you bought it and how you like it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video is helpful. I hope you learned something about this brand new 2026 Volkswagen Taos. And if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.